Greetings, friend. I'm glad you're here. This circle is a healing circle or a holding space for what we need healing or tending around within our own living life that we're unfolding. So, whether you are thinking about anxiety, or maybe here's the thing about anxiety is usually related to something else, right? So maybe there's a physical thing going on in our bodies, and that also creates anxiety. There could be troublesome thing going on in life, or maybe a pressure of some sort that makes one anxious. There could be money issues, all kinds of things can create or poke our anxiety part of us, which is a natural part in a way, right? In balance, it's not bad, but it can easily get out of balance, and then it's very overwhelming. So today you might want to focus on anxiety that you are experiencing in your body. It's in the mind, but it's very much in the body. And that might not be exactly where you want to place your focus today, or possibly your benevolent, helpful inner world might not bring that up once we get to the contemplation part. It might be something like that's behind the anxiety or underneath the anxiety. So it might be emotional, soul, body issue that you're trying your best to work with right now that is difficult. It might be a fear of what is going to happen in some area of your life that you're feeling anxious or not balanced, right? It's taking over. And the approach of this circle is from an animist idea, I guess, or an animist way of looking at anxiety. So a lot of times, or whatever the other issue might be, but let's say anxiety or also sickness, it could be the physical ailment that then there's worry around that. Commonly, let's say anxiety. We think of anxiety as I'm anxious. Yes, yes. And what if also this anxiety has its own energy, like it is a being or a spirit or an energy, or however you might be curious about thinking about it, that it's a bit separate from you and it has arrived or entered, or it's been with you a long time, but maybe it's not exactly you. Part of it is you, but it also has its own, you know how it blah 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 in the mind of worry, like, well, what if. And so what if we treat that energy however it is that you feel it? And part of the contemplation is going to sense our own bodies about how we feel these concerns, these anxious experiences that we have. And what if for the next few minutes together, you decide that this feeling that you're having, thoughts, feelings, is it's partially you, but the part that isn't, the part that is its own, it has its own energy, and it has come into you. Okay, like how we think about a sickness that we could, quote, catch from someone else, right? It goes from person to person, and it arrives in us, and then it works its will on us, and hopefully it leaves. It has its own energy. So what if you allow yourself to think about certain aspects of anxiety to be like that, in a way that, like, maybe it's this might sound gross, but kind of feeding on your energy, or it feeds, or it creates because it likes, or it feeds off of the more anxious you feel, the more it goes, yeah, 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 right? It's more energy for it, maybe. Maybe it's different for you. You'll find out if you haven't thought about it. You'll have a sense. You might think, well, what's the benefit of that? the benefit might be that when it's something else, you can take action, or you can negotiate, or you can say, get the F back, right? It's too much. Now, sometimes with a sickness, it's hard to do that because it starts to take over, but you could take actions. You could do things to help move it along faster or reduce it, right? That's what we do with sickness, like a cold or the flu or something. And so, what if anxiety, there are actions that we can take to just smooth it out some rather than feeding it by being afraid of it or even being angry at it or just wishing it wasn't there? Well, what if there's other actions that we could take? Also, the other thing to remember for this process is that as in animist thinking, you are not alone in it. So you also have many allies that could rally in support of you so that you're not, your own just one small self with this big thing, right? Also to remember that in our inner world, it's very dreamlike, meaning it could be imaginatively worked with in any way that comes to you that you find helpful, even if it's not logical in the physical world. So just let all those words settle for a moment and notice, after hearing me say those things, which part of what I just talked about feels relevant to you, or that you felt a bit of a ping or a draw in your body energy that you feel like, that's interesting, or, oh yeah, I guides, allies, or anxiety as separate than you, or something, or like even if I were to put an image or a shape onto this feeling of anxiety, or if it's not anxiety, something, anger, rage, whatever it might be, sadness, what would it look like as if it's separate, like if it's standing or sitting or being right in front of you?
The wisdom is simple. The message is clear. You are a part of the world, my dear.